Hello, Cindy Walter here, episode 2 of The Healthy Knitter. It is September 15th, and I kind of am doing this a little bit quicker than I thought I would. I was very nervous to even put it out there that I did this, and I just told my Facebook friends and Instagram friends that I put my first podcast out last week. So maybe I'll start to get some views here, and it won't just be me talking to myself. But I talked about the story of how I actually fell in love with knitting and wool and sweaters when I was 21 years old in Iceland when I was part of a USO troop that performed from military bases. And we were at our first stop in Reykjavik. And I could be saying that a little bit off too. And I am so excited because we are going back there the beginning of next month, and I will bring you along for that journey. But I'm so excited. So when I was there, I bought my first Icelandic sweater. This is just absolutely crazy to me. I'm just looking at this at the first time. I followed a knitting podcaster who has tons of followers and fans and has a huge podcast. And she visited the Hand Knitting Association of Iceland. That's where my sweater was. So there are people that make and knit these handmade sweaters in Iceland. So if you're not a knitter, you can go in and you can select one and buy it. And so I knew this was a handmade sweater when I saw it. It's like a jacket, and I fell in love with it. And I bought it when I was 21 and I'm 56 years old. You do the math. I've had it for a very long time. And so I wanted to show it to you because this is how I fell in love with knitting and didn't realize it till many years later that it really is such a great thing for people who need to reduce stress. And I talked about this on last episode, and I will talk about it on every episode, how good good habits are for your stress. It could be reading for you. Maybe you're someone that's an avid reader. I unfortunately have too many hobbies and not enough time. I love it all. I listen to books on Audible, watch podcasts while I'm knitting. I love to exercise. I'll be on the bike and I'll be knitting along. I'm just one of those crazy people that I know I drive some people nuts and they just have to click unfollow because I'm too much for them. But I know the ones of you that are probably watching this are wired very similarly to me. But one tip I wanted to give you today, I told you I kind of wanted to do this a little bit different than other things that are out there. I want to tell you stories, and I will be laughing at myself often. And now it'll be fun to have someone else to laugh along with me. But I just have loved this sweater, and I'm going to be bringing it with me when I go to Iceland next week. But it's old, and you can see there's some pills on there. There's some pilling that's gone on. So I bought a tool called lint remover, and it looks like a an electric shaver. Quite honestly, that's what it looks like. And I just wanted to show you how quick and easy this is. I bought this for sweaters like this, and it just takes the pills right off. Got to be careful. You don't want to do too much. But for the pills that are just there on the end, it just takes them right off. So I am going to use this little gadget, and I'm going to take good care of my sweater. And so when I go to Iceland next month, it'll be pill free. But anyway, I just thought that was a really cool story and I wanted to share it with you. I went on my first yarn crawl. My husband is a saint. I've made many jokes about this, and people have heard the story, and it is kind of funny. A yarn crawl. So I went to 6 different yarn shops. I have a little passport that when you went to the yarn shops, they would put a sticker in or stamp them. And if you purchased $10 worth of anything, you got a stamp, and then you're in on their drawings. There were free patterns and gifts at several of them. Everyone had free patterns, but there were several that had gifts, and everyone has a door prize. And then if you're really adventurous and you go to all, I think there's 16 of them in here, you're in on some big door prizes. But I just wanted to share a little bit about what I'm excited about. So I told you I was looking for yarn for the petite knit no frill sweater. I could not find locally the exact yarn I wanted. So that was a bit of a bummer, but I did find the sweetest people that own these shops that were willing to find me something that would work. So for this yarn, or for this sweater, excuse me, I am using Cascade Yarns. It's a superwash sport, and it just has a color number 219. It is like a taupe color, like a almost more like a darker tan coffee color. And then, oops, then I am using Cascade Yarns Kid Seta, which is Super Kid Mohair, 70% Super Kid Mohair and 30% silk. And I am knitting these two together. And all I have no business starting another project. But I couldn't help myself. I just wanted to see what it felt like. I'm Cancer. I was born in July, and I like to feel the texture of everything. So put together, let me get out. That's what it looks like. And you can see that it's airy and it's soft. And I am so excited about this. But I am going to be a very good girl and put it away because the project I want to finish, I showed last time, I've got a little bit of progress on it. The vanilla sweater from the Woolly Thistle. And the Woolly Thistle, I don't know if I showed you this, but my friend Susan gave me my gift card from the Woolly Thistle. And I got online and chose, I wanted something a little easier because I had just done a cable sweater that I'll bring on another episode that is gorgeous. It's probably one of the things I'm most proud of that I've done because it just took it was a labor of love. It was a labor of love. So I wanted something a little bit easier, and I got online and I'd heard about this vanilla sweater pattern. And so this one is just working up pretty quickly. It's a small needle, so it takes a bit of time, but it's just a very easy stocking net stitch. So I've got a little bit ways to go to finish the bottom, and then I'll do the sleeves and I'll be done. But when I placed my order, I was so excited because it came in a little whip bag. So it's the Woolly Thistle, and then on the back, all knitting is good knitting. I mean, you want a stress reliever, you just get a package in the mail like this with a whip bag in it. I was so excited. Little things get me excited, I know. But so I've really got to finish that project before I get too into this new petite knit. But the other thing that I picked out, and I'll show you much later when I finally tackled this project, is I got yarn for the champagne cardigan by Petite Knit as well. So I'll be making two Petite Knit patterns. And that, again, it was not the exact yarn I wanted. So brand wise, I wasn't able to find Sandnes yarn is not something that's popular here locally, very hard to find. So I, again, had to improvise. So these are two beautiful cream colors, and this one is a baby alpaca wool. It's midna to sole. I'm probably saying that terribly. And it's a beige color. And then this is a DK Merino Superwash Plymouth Select color natural heather. So there'll be a beautiful cream combination for the champagne cardigan, which I am not even, I put the yarn up on my shelf and I'm not even allowing myself to get excited about that one because these have to be finished first. And then I'm going to Iceland. I mean, I will buy yarn in Iceland for sure. I will buy yarn in Iceland. But I did make, when I started making these beautiful Lopi sweaters, and I'll show you the ones that I've made. I made one for myself, and then I made a gorgeous one that I did craft shows. And I thought people would pay me for my time and the amount of money I put into my beautiful wool sweaters. And I put a price on it with not charging very much an hour for my time. And I mean, it was comical. No one would even offer anything close to what I wanted for that sweater. So I never did sell it, but I gave it away as a gift to my brother-in-law's then girlfriend at the time, and they broke up. Mm. And it was the most gorgeous colors. I was so heartsick about that sweater. I know. Really, really be sure who you gift your beautiful sweaters to. But I've made several more. I made one for my husband. I actually made a couple for my husband. Then I made one a couple Christmases ago for each of my four adult children. And I just love them. They came out beautiful, and I'll show you pictures of those. I do have pictures. I don't think I can pull it up quickly right now, but I will look. If I can pull it up quickly for you, I can. Let me do that um, because it's pretty cool. This was all the sweaters I made. So this one up here is for my youngest daughter, Maddie. This one here is for my oldest daughter, Katie. This one is for my middle daughter, Jenna. And then this one is for my son, Tyler. And they took a year. So I got all four sweaters made in a year and gifted them for their Christmas gift that year. And one of them lives in Tampa, where she doesn't get to wear it very often, and one lives in Taipei, and it doesn't get that cold there either. But I hope these will be a gift that they'll treasure forever, forever. So that is really it. I just wanted to share a little bit about my first yarn crawl. It was just so much fun. I did buy a yarn that I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with. If you have any ideas, this is, I always hear about blue sky fibers from Dre Renee Knits. And this is woolstock worsted blue sky fibers. And they are huge skeins, 150 grams. So I have three of these, which should be a sweater's quantity. So I'm trying to figure out a good sweater for this. I'm really, as much as I love the cabled sweaters and I love all the color work sweaters, the Icelandic sweaters, I'm looking just for some basic solids that I can wear with anything. So I thought about, well, I really have a pattern for Dre Renee's everyday sweater, I think it is. I might be saying that wrong, but it's not the same exact wool. So I might actually try to swatch and see if I can meet gauge. And after my first episode, it was so funny. I had to tear a project out, totally frog a project that was too small, and it was hysterical. And I figured out what I did wrong. And so I want to make sure this is a gorgeous, it looks evergreeny, but it's a little more olive than evergreen. It's a little bit between like there's a little olive in it, a little bit of lime green to it. And I have green eyes. I'm Italian. And I just want to do, I think, a really basic solid sweater. Maybe if I love this, I know yarn wise, this doesn't match up either, but something very basic. So if you have any good ideas for a worsted yarn, let me know. And then I bought this purely for the color. I love the color of this, and I have probably enough to do maybe a short sleeve sweater or maybe a vest with this one. So I need to find a couple patterns to use those up. But other than that, it was just a great experience. My husband was a trooper. He worked on his Chinese at every stop. I'm learning Italian, he's learning Chinese. Another healthy habit that's great for your brain health. So if you are someone that is just looking to overall have a better quality of a healthy lifestyle, learning a second language, my son learned Mandarin Chinese, and he was on us that we really needed to start learning a second language for our brain health. And so I started off learning Mandarin with Scott, and I lasted a month. I am not near the student my husband is. I'm actually rather a bad student. I'm a great visual learner. So knitting is something that, and crafting is something I've picked up because I've watched other people. I'm visual. So I love watching YouTube videos. If I don't know how to do something, I can figure it out because I'm a visual learner. And when it came to learning Mandarin and listening and I struggled so bad. And so I did not last very long on that journey. So I'm very, very grateful for Google Translate and my husband, who is my translator, and my son when we go to Taiwan. My son is getting married to a beautiful Taiwanese girl March 1st. And so I do need to learn enough, that's for sure. But I am learning Italian. And one of the reasons I decided to learn Italian is because I'm from Italy, and all of my kids and I have been going through the courts with all kinds of paperwork and documents to become Italian citizens. And it's been about 4 years, and it should be final in January. And so then I'm going to go to Italy and knit next. So Iceland and England coming up this year, and hopefully Italy next year. That will be my goal. But again, just want to encourage those of you that are maybe needing some stress relievers in your life to think about. It doesn't have to be knitting. It can be doing those sip and paint classes where you can get a group of friends together, have a glass of wine, and paint a beautiful picture of a sunrise. There's so many fun things that you can do that you're in great community with great people and you are doing things to reduce stress in your life. So that's what we're all about. That's why I adore this hobby so much, and just wish me luck as I put this to rest for a bit and finish my vanilla sweater. Stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in. And if you have any ideas for me, please put it in the comments below. I would so appreciate that. And subscribe to the channel. Hopefully we'll have some fun and a lot of laughs along the way. Have a great day.